Vikings, Steelers, Bills, Seahawks. Seahawks, of course, going against the Lions. A good game. That's on Monday Night Football, I believe. Bills are going against the Ravens. Steelers going against the Colts. And the Vikings, of course, going against the Packers. We're going to speak with Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN NFL Insider, in just a few short moments. It's Russo and Rizzo live here, ESPN 106.3. Mike, what's your answer to this? Which one of those 3-0 teams has the best chance of staying undefeated this weekend?
It's interesting because I think all of them have pretty decent enough matchups. I'm done doubting the Vikings, Colin. I'm done doubting the Vikings. I know they're at Green Bay, but it just seems like something's working there. It seems like Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell are on the right track with each other. And if Green Bay starts Malik Willis, I think they might get found out. Meaning, I think this is probably the best team that they would face with Malik Willis at the helm. Now, if Jordan Love's back, this is a different conversation.
He's a game-time decision.
Exactly, yeah. If he comes back, this is different. But I'm kind of done doubting the Vikings in a sense
Should be, yeah. He killed you the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I've had to eat a lot of crows for him. But I still remind Viking fans it's a long year, and it's a very hard division. And obviously, this is game one in the division. I have an interesting theory on who you might be going with, C, but I'm going to pick the Vikings because it might be a Jordan Loveless Green Bay. I'm not sold on the Seahawks at all. I think they're kind of frauds at 3-0. The Bills.
How isn't that? That's not your answer, though, if they're frauds?
Seahawks are kind of. Okay. I think they're kind of frauds. My answer, no. I told you my answer is the Vikings has the best chance. But the Bill, I want to pick the Bills, but they're at the Ravens, and the Ravens I think are a little desperate right now to get back to 500. Out of the teams listed, I got to go with the Vikings, but I have a feeling who you're going to go with here.
It's just off of matchup alone. That Raven game is not going to be easy for the Bills, but the Bills haven't really shown a crack in the armor through 3 weeks. And on top of that, Seattle, I agree, a little fraudulent, playing a tough game here. And as are the Vikings. I think you're putting a little too little stock into whether it's Malik Willis or not, just how good the Packers really are, especially at home. They have to split that series.
Hadn't the Vikings defense shown you? I mean, they at least showed me something in the win against the Texans.
Absolutely.
I know it was at home, but C.J. Stroud.
That game's shaping up to be pretty freaking good. Right. So because of that, I have some expectations that I think the Packers are going to play well. And just because I think the Packers are really good. They're just well coached. And so for me, best chance to stay 3-0, I'm going to go with the Steelers. I really am.
I thought so.
Just off of matchup. Indianapolis Colts, not a great team. And Richardson is a turnover machine at quarterback. He is either having the best 65-yard throw you've ever seen in your life, or he's throwing it, passing it to the defense.
They've been in games.
They have.
Indy has been in games. I don't necessarily...
Well coached, and this is a great defense they're going against. Because of that, I think they'll come after him a little bit.
I like your take on Richardson, but I wonder when we're going to get the Justin Fields game. When it's... And what I mean by Justin Fields game, obviously I covered the Bears a lot in Peoria, and too many times Fields would turn the ball over, he'd fumble, he'd throw interceptions. We saw an interception from him on Sunday. But I think Mike Tomlin and that offensive staff and Artie Smith have done a better job of being able to kind of reel him in and kind of stick to the game plan. But I wonder on the road, and I know the Steelers have played road games. They played at Denver. I wonder, Colin, if this is the game where Fields kind of turns the pilfer over and we start wondering if Russell Wilson should be starting a game. He didn't play well against Atlanta. I don't care what a Steeler fan will tell you. Fields did not play well at Atlanta.
But he's trending upward.
He did what he had to do against the Broncos, but I think the Broncos are miserable. I know they just completely dismantled
the idea is
Tampa Bay.
He's getting better. He's trending upward.
You're worried about Richardson, which is fair. I kind of agree with that. I'm worried about Fields because I think the Indianapolis defense is underrated, and I think that ultimately Fields might go back to some of his old ways.
I have confidence in the Steelers tonight just off of that defense. They know exactly what they are. And off of that alone, I give them an edge because of the matchup, but also because I think that they know exactly what they need to do and the exactly type of team they need to be in order to win. I'm not sure the Colts do know that. The Colts don't know really how much to rely on Anthony Richardson or whether it's the run game or this or that or the other. Because of that identity issue, Steelers, I would argue, other than the Chiefs, are maybe the Bills too, the most locked in on their identity, and they know exactly what it is.
That offense can only take them so far. That offense can only. I don't. Call me a Steeler hater, a squealer hater, or whatever we want to call it. I'm sorry, man. That offense can only take them so far.